What's up, everybody? Welcome back to A Trucker's Life. I'm Jorge Navarro. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the channel. If you've already been subscribed, welcome back, guys. And yeah, we're doing a little short local run today. They always say, please do this short little run. You'll be done by noon. It's 1 p.m. and I'm just now leaving where I got loaded at, as you guys saw. Yep, that's the situation. ISO load today. So all I'm gonna be doing, taking it down there, getting it unloaded, and be done for the week. Take a few days off, and then I'll reboot and back at it again. Real quick shout out to Joseph as one of our family members. Just welcomed his new baby boy, a little over 9 pounds. And welcome, little guy, welcome. The mommy's doing, that was rude. Mommy is doing great. She is recovering. The baby is doing great. And welcome to A Trucker's Life family for sure. But yeah, guys, today actually, well, you guys will get the video a little late, but today, the day that I'm filming this video, is actually 9/11, and my prayers go out to all the family members and everybody that was affected by that tragic day 19 years ago, right before I became a truck driver. I started driving 18 years ago, a little over 18 years, and I was a salesman. I was a car salesman. The day that this happened, I was coming into work. For some reason, I hadn't turned on the TV, but for some reason I had this crazy feeling that something was off. I don't know, sometimes when you have that feeling that something's off, and that's how I was feeling that morning. I was just feeling kind of leery, kind of weird. Was driving to work. I was kind of just had this weird feeling in my heart. I didn't know what it was. So in the car business, most of the bigger dealerships, before you start the day, you have a morning meeting. And we went in to have our morning meeting. I walk in, this place had about 50 to 60 salesmen. It was a pretty big dealership. We used to sell 1,000 cars a month. So I went in, and this place is normally rowdy, of course, with all those salesmen in there. And I saw everybody just sitting there. Some were crying, some were holding their heads down. And there was this big screen TV I remember that was in there. Well, everything's big screen now, but you know, it was one of those big box TVs, and everybody was just looking at it. And I sat down next to my friends there, and I asked him, I said, what's going on? Like, why is everybody like this? And he said, we're being attacked. And I'm like, you know, what do you mean being attacked? He's like, yeah, they're saying that a plane went into one of the planes went into the Twin Towers in New York City. And I looked over and I see that one building smoking. And right after I sit down, the second plane came in, which is the one that almost everybody saw, came in and hit the other tower. And that's when it really sank in, and it really broke my heart when I knew how many people are in airplanes and around how many people would be inside a building. As the day went by, they ended up grounding all of the airlines, of course, that day. And by noon, normally we would have sold already at least 10 cars, 5 to 10 cars, and we had nothing sold. Everybody was sitting around the TV still, the one we had in our showroom floor. And I remember our manager coming in saying, which this infuriated me, but he came in saying, get to work. Only because this is going on doesn't mean business does not have to continue. And we all just kind of looked at him and ignored him. Didn't pay attention to whatever else he had to say, and we just still sat there. That day, which is normally a 25 car day, maybe a little more, we sold 2 cars. And the 2 cars we sold, the only reason we sold those 2 vehicles that day was because the airport was not far from the dealership, and people had gotten taxis on over to the closest dealerships, and they bought vehicles to go home. We didn't know how long the planes were going to be grounded. We didn't know what was going on. Of course, a lot of you remember this day, and some of you might have been directly affected by this day. But they bought those 2 vehicles, and that's the way they got home. After that day, we went from, like I said, 1,000 car dealership to 1,000 a month dealership to about 100, 150 a month for the next few months. And that is the reason that I got out of the car business, which I thank God for getting me out of that environment, because it was fast money and it was a fast life. And that's when I got really interested in driving trucks. And that event has me here, driving trucks. And unfortunately, as tragic as that was, I am grateful that I was able to get out of that environment, and I'm now here. So their lives are not in vain, not in my book. A lot of decisions were made after that. A lot of things changed after that day. And it's sad. Every time it comes around, it's equally sad. And I always think about the people that were hurt, and people that lost their lives, and it's just, yeah, it was always my dream to go see the Twin Towers. That was always one thing I wanted to go see, and I never got the opportunity to go see it, see them still standing in all their glory. I was actually there about a year afterwards, and just saw the big pit, the hole that's there, and the hole that was left in our nation and in our hearts. So not just New York has a scar, we all have that scar from what happened. And that is what is mostly painful of our current situation, is it that day everybody unified, no matter what color, what race, what religion, everybody unified and became one nation under God, of course. And here we are 19 years later, and we are more tore apart than ever. That is heartbreaking. And we should take this day and this moment to try to bridge that gap and do something that we don't normally do, and tell somebody that we don't normally tell them that we love them, and hug them, and embrace a new, embrace a new thinking, a new way of thinking, and a new way of trying to become unified and become one great nation that we have been, always been, until now. With that being said, guys, thank you guys again for joining me one more time. Don't forget, especially today. Don't forget to be kind to one another. Help anybody needs help. Anybody contemplating suicide, 1-800-273-8255. To all the people that died that day, and to all the firefighters, the police officers, and first responders that risked their lives that day, and that we lost some, and those that made it through. Thank you so much for your service. See you guys on the next video. Peace.
I'm speeding fast to chase my soul. I'm driving.